which is exciting. And we are recording live. Dracy, Dewar, all the way from Broad Beach, Gold Coast, Australia. And I'm delighted to be starting our 100% Better with Us. And who's us? We are Youngevity Down Under. And so I just wanted to say myself personally, this is a very exciting project that I've been able to put together with Team Down Under here. And, you know, we've had the opportunity to see what the need is, and we are really big on making the ease of this for you. And when I talk about the ease of this for you, we are talking on helping you engage, how to educate, how to enroll, and more importantly, how to empower. And with that is by going back to the education. And so this is an educational series on how you can be 100% better with us financially and physically. And so we've put this into a two-part module, being a series of 12. So part 1 is going to be all on health, the 6 actual PowerPoint videos, presentations, where you'll have the opportunity to utilize and use the PowerPoint presentation for your own use, and we are actually going to record each one of them as well, so you can hear the dialogue to help you with your delivery on how you want to demonstrate the information that we are sharing with you, because we know that we're not the experts. Dr. Wallach, Dr. Glidden, and even Kevin Grundy are the experts in the health. And we know we may not be the network marketing experts, but we got our 5 stars and our ambassadors that are the experts. And so we have going to extract the information from them. And what we're doing is we're putting it in a formula for you that you guys can take and share your own personal story and be able to go out there again and educate in a way that's through events. We know that events and everyday networking is what it's going to take to get the word out and educate the people. So you got to have the choice, however you want to deliver this, whether you want to educate people by Zooms, webinars, or whether you want to educate them by having your own groups at home and having focus groups around different information and content. So that's what we are bringing together for you. And how we're doing that is we're starting off with you guys being the, what would I say it, the test bunnies. And how you guys get to do is what you guys take with this and how you guys are going to utilize it. So we want to recognize you for it. And so this series of part 1 of health is going to be the 6 videos, PowerPoints. And for you guys participating on all 6 of them by watching the video and taking the presentation and going out there and sharing it with someone, whether it's one-to-one or one-to-many, when you completed the 6, we are actually going to be able to do for you a certificate that you have completed the actual, let me just do that. All right, we had some noise feedback. So you are going to have your very own certificate that you are 100% better in health and that you have completed it. And so it qualifies you to go out there and really have some fun with this. And so part 2 will be 100% better in wealth, and it'll be all of the steps and formulas on how to become a professional network marketer with Youngevity, utilizing and showcasing the plan, the 78 2-hour game plan, how to go out there and prospect, who are the network marketing qualities and leaders and all those sort of things. So this is what you can expect in it. So we're going to get started, and I will tell you just really why I'm inspired to have done this. I'm all about education and empowerment, and I know the more I have learned about Youngevity in the last 11 months that I have been here, the more I have learned, the more I have become a crusader of the Dr. Wallach message. And that has come with the last 12 months of figuring things out and researching and meeting people and finding out, you know, where their aches and illnesses have been, and then going out and researching and finding out what would Dr. Wallach say, or what would Kevin say, or what would Dr. Glidden say. And so that's kind of, I'm sure every one of you here have had to do and kind of figure out along the way. So we want to make this simple. And so in that, I always believe in a system and a formula. And so this is what we've brought together, is a system and a formula. And so understanding how those 900 illnesses that are related to all diseases has been broken up into 4 different categories. And that is going to be the foundation of 100% Better With Us health. And so this one is going to be explaining those 4 categories, and you as a messenger of the message is how to position it, what to say, not what to say. And so Kevin himself has been working on this with the past, I think 20 years we talked about it. And so if anybody's got the language around it and been able to be a really great crusader for Doc Wallach is Kevin. And so he has been so open in his heart in sharing his experience, his expertise in delivering this message to you. So I really want to thank Kevin for doing that and bringing this together. And so that's what tonight's about. And then we're going to break those 4 categories over the next 4 sessions. And then the 6th session is wrapping it up on the health and lifestyle of choosing the better health challenge that we have. And that's between the 90 for life, the Rev 90, the keto, and the wellness. And so how somebody can take one of those and just really understand how to kickstart their business in what to eat and how to eat better as well. So that's what you can expect out of these 6. So getting back to getting started with the 4 categories. Kevin, I just want to say you have been nothing but a gentleman and a scholar on being able to share this with me. And I just want to say I have learned so much, and I want to thank you for taking your own time and money to join me on the road trip that I did in New Zealand, in Auckland and Christchurch, our Timaru, as well as New Plymouth. And I learned a lot. So I just want to say it's just well worth rubbing shoulders with like-minded people. So thank you. And I just want to give this to you, Kevin, on your turn and why you do what you do, because you are a messenger and you are a motivator. And most importantly, you are the man of the hour. So take it on, Kevin.
The pleasure's all mine. It was really good spending that time with you and getting to know a little bit more how you tick and how we all can connect back into this 90 for life message. So, and it's been a journey of learning and understanding. And over those years with my clients and the Dr. Wallach message, I learned it was very important to lead with this 4 category system. The reason for that is specifically in Australia, a little bit more relaxed here in New Zealand, but we've got to be very careful what we say about health challenges. Many companies have gone under because of people saying the wrong things, and we only need a couple of senior people saying the wrong things, and then the authorities start looking at us, and before we know, and we're dragged over the coals. So we need to have a language, which is a language we can use, which is safe to use. It means the same thing about healing the body. And so over the years, Dr. Wallach developed or discovered that many of the health challenges we have today fall under 4 categories. And so using those 4 categories, we've developed a service. Okay, Dr. Wallach, the man, internationally recognized as a naturopath and a veterinarian. He's given over 300 lectures. He's the author of 13 books and 75 scientific articles. And he's the author of the well-known Dead Doctors Don't Lie. He's also has 2 radio shows every day in the States where you can ring in and ask your own health question. He also featured in a documentary recently called The Audacity of Health. So Dr. Wallach has connected over 900 different diseases to health problems directly to the 90 essential nutrients. He's developed this 4 category strategy plan. He worked out that many of the health challenges will fall into a category. The medical system has many different names for health challenges, but at the end of the day, they only really affect certain parts of the body. So when we're dealing with things like arthritis, well, that's affecting the musculoskeletal system, it's affecting muscles and what we call the hard tissue aspect of the body. And so we have a category called a hard tissue category. Likewise, if you've got problems with your heart or your lungs or your skin, your eyes, well, this in your body, this is known as a soft tissue. The body handles or heals this using different nutrients to what it would be if it was healing hard tissue. And so we call this category soft tissue. So anything that is needs repairing in the body that is soft tissue would come under this category. Likewise, blood sugars. If you have a problem with your blood sugars, you probably end up with a disease like diabetes, or will have some form of kidney issues. And so we're not going to help. We're not going to fix we're not going to fix a diabetes problem, because diabetes is just a describing word by the medical system. So what is diabetes? Well, diabetes is an imbalance of blood sugars. That's what's wrong in the body itself. It's a blood sugar imbalance. So if we deal with blood sugars, then we're going to help balance it, and the body can overcome these challenges. And it's the same with digestion. And so we have many aspects to our digestion, from the way we eat, the way it's broken down in our gut, to the way it's broken down in our intestine. So there's a whole regime of health challenges relates to those. But at the end of the day, it's all still part of one system, the digestion system. And so if we look after the digestion system as a whole and not as a part, then we end up getting far better outcomes. So there's the 4 categories. We understand what parts of the body comes under these categories. And then we share the message of the 90 essential nutrients. Because in order for the body to function optimally, we need to consume the correct amount of these 90 nutrients every day. And so these nutrients are 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids. These are the building blocks of life. They build life in the body. They're responsible for all cell development. Any one of these nutrients missing as these cells are developing, then some will go pear-shaped. And so we need to focus on the importance of these nutrients, noting that of these, 60 of them are minerals. That's 2/3 of the essential nutrients required for healing the body, or for building cells in the body, are minerals. So one of the things Dr. Wallach found, if you give the body what it needs, it does amazing things. So why should we, or what should we say, or what shouldn't we say? And so when we're dealing with the public out there, we can't go out there and say, well, I see you've got diabetes. Well, I can fix your diabetes, because we can't. That's a medical terminology, and it's got a whole medical scripture of how it works. But in turn, we know that diabetes is caused for an imbalance of blood sugars in the body, among many other things in the body. It could be a dysfunctioning soft tissue problem, like a kidney's not working properly. Okay, so we're not fixing diabetes here. What we're doing is we're helping the body overcome health challenges. So we are supporting the body. And so we use the word support, and we don't use the word diseases. So we're supporting tissue, or we're supporting systems. Sorry, that was an international European number calling me. So that's why at the beginning of my talk I normally have put your phone on silent. Anyway, so we understand this terminology. We have to use the word support or may help, but we don't treat diseases. So if they come to you with look, I've got arthritis, you go, oh, sorry to hear that, that's a medical disease. Well, that's generally when the musculoskeletal breaks down, so that's like a skeleton problem, so that's hard tissue. So if the body in turn had the right nutrients, then it can help fix its hard tissue problem. So we're supporting. So these are the different types of conversations you have. And so we can rephrase things. So sometimes we rephrase the question like, if they've got arthritis, well, it's bone and joint support. If they've got Parkinson's or ALS or any form of brain problem, it's brain support. If they've got diabetes, they've got blood sugar support. Celiac or Crohn's, digestion support. Cancer. Well, cancer is a big question, a big question mark about that, because what is it? It's not really a system at all. It's a big word which means so many things. But at the end of the day, cancer is a depressed immune system. The immune system isn't working properly, and cells aren't healing or aren't forming. And so it's an immune problem. So here, if we have cancer issues, we do not fix cancer. that will get you into trouble. But we can help the body with its immune system. So we give immune support. Whenever you're dealing with anybody with cancer, that's how we refer it. We are supporting the immune system. And in turn, that will help fight any issues like cancer. Kidney disease, we're going to support the kidney. Because remember that the medical word for disease means at dis-ease, at ease. So it's not that the opposite to at ease, it's dis-ease. And so when the body's having issues, these medical terminologies just are random words that don't really have direct meaning. They're just open words. It's a bit like going out and saying, hey, let's go for a coffee, but at the end of the day, you might have a turmeric latte. And so diseases is when the system's not working properly. And we know with kidney disease, the kidney itself is just not working properly. So we want to support the kidney. So we use the word support. So we support the kidney. We do not fix kidney disease. The key to success in longevity, we need to follow a proven system helping others with their physical and financial health. That's the message. That's our success. So we follow a proven system, a 4-category system that we can introduce to a client from day one, and we can ascertain what journey their health has been on and what journey they need to go to recover. And so we get them to fill out a form, a 4-category form. We call it identifying your category, and we get them to choose a number. It will be 1 to 10. Please, you see it here as 1 to 5, but it will be 1 to 10 because it does make it easier to track when you've got a wider number. So you get them to rate how they feel. So in the hard tissue, we have things like knees, shoulders, joint pain, stiffness, back pain. And so we ask for a rating. Do you have any pain in these areas? Oh, I have a little bit of pain. What, 1 to 10? Oh, 5, 10. Okay, so you create a number. You have headaches, create a number, and so on. You have high blood pressure problems. Well, yes, I've got extremely high blood pressures. It's 205 over 120, you know, so that would be a 10. Or, no, it's I'm really good. My blood pressure is 120 over 80, so that's going to probably be a 0 or a 1, you know. So we just give these things a number, and we go through each of our systems. So we do the same thing with the soft category. Dry or itchy skin, you know, we're asking them, do they have any forms of eczema types of problems, any thyroid issues, do they have dry cracked heels, great sign of dry tissue. Now again, so we get a number 1 to 10 and we enter that in the box. Same with the blood sugars, rinse and repeat. Okay, do you have cravings for sugars or sweet things? Now, quite a lot of people love to put 3 or 4 teaspoons of sugar in their tea, or they drink 4 or 5 cans of Coke a day. Now that's a 10. Or somebody who does, they add no sugar to their meal or whatever, and that's a 0. And so you're getting the point here. The same with the digestion. We work out these numbers. Now we add all these up, and whichever number is the highest, that'll be your future roadmap. So we know the direction they've come from because now we see all their health challenges laid out in front of you. And so now that tells us where we've got to plan and go forward. Here's the thing, to help people heal, we have to improve how they uptake the nutrients. And so it doesn't matter which is the highest in this particular category in the first place, we start with digestion. And then once we've dealt with the digestion, then we move to the category with the highest number, because remember we said this is the roadmap going forward. So again, we start with the digestion as a category, okay, and then we go to the highest number going forward. And we stay on that road until we overcome these challenges. Every 30 days, we take another look at our health and we reevaluate this pain. Has the pain diminished? Has the pain increased? Some people might see changes in the digestion because some of the products we have is very concentrated. So they might get more gurgly going on, or there might be some constipation or diarrhea going on. So it helps us understand where their journey is taking them. So let's look at hard tissue. What is hard tissue? Well, hard tissue is to do with the body's musculoskeletal. So when it breaks down, we end up with things like arthritis, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, and of course you could have weak bones, fractures, or you could have an accident and break something. You know, these are hard tissue. We could have some cardiovascular system problems, hypertension or muscular problems, kidney stones, calcium deposits. You know what's kidney stones? Well, kidney stones is when the kidneys have collected a calcium deposit. This calcium deposit generally comes from the bones, as the bones are required more for calcium requirements for nutrition. These deposits are released, because we should normally get our calcium from our food and not our bones. Our bones are therefore growing and structural, not as a reservoir for calcium. If the body needs it, it will use it as a reservoir. So we need to get our calcium from our foods. Nervous problems, because we know that calcium is involved with the whole nervous system, the whole electrical system, how electrical currents run through the body. It's all the nervous system. And so, of course, that'll be hard tissue. Tinnitus, vertigo, again, that's forms of arthritis, forms of nervous issues. Okay, so we know that these all affect hard tissue. So we don't need to know the names of these health challenges. All we need to know is what part of the body that they relate to as a health challenge, and then we can then look at the pack or the disorder pack we use. And so we identify each one and we go through each category. Soft tissue, we rinse and repeat. Okay, so we're looking at things that are going to fix the softer tissues in the body, the eyes, the tongue, the skin, the heart, okay, the kidneys, pancreas, all these, the tissue, you know, they have a function, they all do a job, but in the meantime, they all need to function. You know, it's like a car. A car gets us from A to B. It can get us from one city to another city. But in itself, the car itself needs looking after. It needs to be washed. It needs to fuel. It's an electrical system. It needs to be looked after. And so we need to do the same thing with all our organs. And so this tissue we call soft tissue needs feeding. And so soft tissue disorders, you could, again, high blood pressure and low blood pressure problems. You could end up with these cancer issues because the soft tissue is breaking down. You could end up with urinary problems because the bladder, the tissue around the bladder is not working properly. So we look again at where that's affecting the body and how would it affect the system, and which system would it fall under, whether it's soft tissue or hard tissue. Again, we mark our figures based on today, and we have another look in 30 days, and then we reevaluate in 90 days. Blood sugars, of course, we know that when we have blood sugar issues, you could end up with things like diabetes, and it helps because diabetes has other complications. It can lead to many other things. People who sweat a lot, you know, could have some kidney issues, again, leading from blood sugar imbalances. And we know that weight management issues are generally directly caused through an imbalance of blood sugars. And so an imbalance of blood sugars has an impact on many parts of our systems. So it's not just about balancing blood sugar for diabetes. It has so many other overlapping functions it does. So if we can balance the blood sugars properly, if we can stop them from spiking, you know, then we can then start to have better improvement on other functions in our body. So again, we go through 1 to 10. We mark what's happening in our life. Do we have craving for sweet things? Do we get sleepy after a meal? Are we waking up in the middle of the night? Are we having difficulty losing weight? We've probably got a blood balance disorder. Digestion, this is my pet topic because this is where we need to focus more attention on. And digestion disorders is the pathway to bad health. So this is where we need to focus on primarily. So what is a digestion disorder? It's anybody with any of these forms of symptoms. Reflux. Now they're constantly reaching out for those quickies, those tum-tums, trying to settle their tummy. People who get regular seasonal allergies, you know, they go outside and they blame, oh, the pollen's in the air. So therefore, it's the plants that are causing my seasonal issues. No, it's not. It's you have an issue internal, and that needs to be dealt with. Candida, dog itch, athletic foot. It's all an overdose of yeast, fungus, basically. And so we need to control yeast. Well, who looks after yeast? Well, we have cleaners in our system who keep those under control. And so when we get a digestion disorder, our cleaners go on strike, and so we need to promote more cleaners. Irritable bowel, Crohn's disease. These are all inflammation of the intestinal wall of your colon and your stomach, and all of that digestional tract going right through to the bottom. That can be inflamed, and it can lead to all sorts of problems. They can lead bigger particles to enter the blood and allow things like your Crohn's disease, irritable bowel. These are all simple problems that can be dealt with if we deal with the digestion. And again, if you have constipation, swinging backwards and forwards, diarrhea, constipation, then we know you've got certain issues. We need to deal with this. So where do we start? We make better decisions what goes into our mouth. We choose a number 1 to 10, and we work out where our health challenges are. And some of these people will get low numbers. But don't be off put by this. The minute you see a number anywhere else in your system, you know it's because you've got a digestion disorder and you're not taking that nutrient for whatever reason. So despite this being maybe low in many cases, okay, and people have accepted their digestion disorders and don't even see them as challenges, so they mark them as low. Okay, so we start with digestion first. But now, some important advice, and we need to share this because these 3 steps will make people extremely healthy. But it does come with side effects. They might lose weight. Their blood sugars might start to balance. They might end up with more energy. So you might need to warn them of all these side effects. But we need to identify the category. We use those 4 categories and work out which journey we're going to go through going forward. Okay, but remembering that we'll start with the digestion one first. That digestion one may just be for a month, it could be for 3 months, it could be for the year. Get past that digestion first. So we use the appropriate pack, but importantly, we clean up the diet. 5 secrets to better health. So we need to clean up this diet. We need to eliminate things that create problems in your body, that create inflammation, make cells swell so they don't do their job properly. And so these things are bad foods, foods that we love every day and we're growing up with. But unfortunately, they react. Wheat, barley, rye, oats have a gluten common denominator, and we know gluten is responsible for inflammation of the digestional walls. Corn, soy, all be modified. They play around with hormones. If there's any one you've got to work on the most, and that in my view is we need to remove nitrates out of meat. That is the killer in our digestion system. If we continue to eat foods that kill bacteria, then be prepared to always have a digestion system with a very poor bacteria count. It's as simple as that. We need to make better decisions on what we put in our mouth. And if we continue to put bacteria in our bacteria-killing things, weed killer in other words, in this case, bacteria killer, then we're always going to constantly have problems. And if we kill off a whole entire family of bacteria, one particular race, like we do here in the world, then they will never come back. And some of those bacteria relate to particular parts of body function. And so when that whole race goes, that whole mechanism, that whole factory, that whole function goes with it. And you'll never get on top of your digestion without some help. So we need to deal with nitrates and get them out of our system. Same with some oils. Oils create inflammation. Carbon drinks compete for space, for absorption, and they drain nutrients out of our bones and fried food. So we need to eliminate this out of our diet. If we don't, all we're doing is throwing petrol straight back onto the fire. It doesn't matter how clean the other end is. Yeah, I eat organic vegetables. Well, big deal. If you keep putting this rubbish back into your diet, you'll continually have what you've got. Simple as that. The other thing you need to be aware of is toxic people. Toxic people can bring you down. They can create stress in your life. And we know stress has a huge impact on our digestion. Okay, and if our digestion gets disrupted, again, the snowball effect starts to disrupt the whole system and we become unhealthy. So maybe your health challenge is not what you're eating. Maybe you are eating a healthy diet, but you have toxic people around you. Something to consider. So we need to eat more things that are healthy. We need to go back to Mother Nature. She has given us a pantry full of foods that are so healthy and life-sustaining. Eat more raw foods. Slightly blanch your fruit if necessary. But remember, some of the dirt on the bacteria is where our B12 comes from. So if you constantly sterilize things, you'll always need a B12 injection as you get older. You need more eggs. Eggs is a perfect protein. It also has a beautiful natural cholesterol around, which protects it. We need cholesterol. Don't buy into cholesterol is bad for us. We need to drink lots of water. Water, dehydration potentially ranks up there with probably some of the most common health problems. And all it is lacking water. People who get migraine headaches regularly, you're potentially just dehydrated. If you sweat a lot, remember you've got to keep putting it back in. Green tea is just loaded with phytonutrients and antioxidants just to heal the system. It is one of God's medicine drinks. Nuts, seeds, we need those for our essential fatty acids. And guys, we've got to get rid of these processed sugars. They feed bad things. So we need to minimize all the sugars we have and boost our protein, good quality proteins, not rubbish protein. And of course, you need the 90 for Life program, because where else in the market are you going to get these 90 essential nutrients? Only through a 90 for Life program. We need to exercise. Even if we eat well and we look at organic foods we put into our gut, without it moving around, it'll just go stagnant. So we need to keep things moving. We need to keep our lymphatic system moving. So a good workout, 30 minutes a day, a walk. But if you're just going on a walk, please put a slight rise in it. We can walk forever in a day on a flat surface. The minute you put a slight rise, just a few degrees, that'll put strain on our cardio and give us good cardio exercise. So if you're out in the streets and you're going for a round in the shops and there's a little hill there, finish off on the little hill, come back again. It would be a world of good. Breathing is also very important to us. Remember, that's how we're taking all this oxygen in and turning it into energy. And so if we can't get oxygen through our lungs clearly and cleanly and effectively, well, then we can't turn it into energy. And without the energy, the body becomes weak. And so exercise is so important. We've got to keep the system moving. If it doesn't move, it's stagnant. If it goes stagnant, things die and fall off. And we need to recharge the batteries. It is so important that we sleep. Now, everybody's sleep is different. Some people need 4 hours sleep. Some people need 8 hours sleep. Whatever your sleep mechanism is for full relaxation, you need to find it. Okay? If you struggle and you're having 6 hours sleep a day and you're struggling, well, then you might need more. You might be one of the lucky ones who can function on 5 and 4 hours sleep and you wake up and you feel very recharged. Okay? You need to find your sleep and work with it. It's so important. That's when we recharge all our batteries. And it seems that darkness, so a dark room, tends to give a better night's sleep. And so if you're a shift worker or somebody who's out of phase to normal time, a bit like me, then you'll need to have a black room, because your eyes or your body time is all censored through your eyelid. And so there's a lot of light and the body will start to act accordingly. And support. And remember, when we're out there, we're sharing this Dr. Wallach message, we need to support these people. It's not just about selling a product. You know, if you just think you're a salesperson, well, then you're in the wrong business here. This isn't sales. This is support. This is supporting with a message that works, the 90 for Life message. So we take the care of knowing what they're doing. Give them a call. Find out how their health challenge is getting on, okay? And can you help further, you know? Put them in contact with people like myself, Peter Glidden, Dr. Wallach, Joanne Conway, Ken Fuchs, just to mention a few. There is a massive supporting arm out there who all understands and supports the Dr. Wallach 90 for Life program. Just speak to one of those or one of us and we can help. Troubleshooting. Why don't people get the same response as the next? Well, generally, there's a rule here. It should generally work. And if it doesn't work, there's always a why. When you get to know me, you'll understand this. I'll always go back to this why factor. Everything has a why factor. Why isn't it healing? Why is it healing faster than others? Why? Why did it happen in the first place? And so we need to find the why. And one of them is, are they taking the right product? Are they taking, they've dealt with a digestion problem and they may have a diabetes problem, but you're treating them for high blood pressure. Are they taking the right product for their health challenge? Have they filled in that 4 categories form yet? Are they taking the right amount of product? It's very important that we understand therapeutic dosing. Therapeutic dosing we see in serving size is an international rule for somebody who weighs 100 pounds. It would take 50 kgs. So if that's our rule of thumb for a recommended daily allowance for somebody who wishes to maintain health, so when we have a health challenge, obviously we need to double our maintenance dose. So if you're 100 kgs, your maintenance dose is 2 servings per day. If you have a health challenge, you will need to double your servings. So you'll become 4 servings per day, and so on. If you're a small child and you weigh 25 kg, then your serving is half a serving. If you have a health challenge, then you'll double your serving. Your serving will become 1. So it's simple rules of maths. If you work with the 50 kg, you'll understand people's dosing. This dosing is exactly the same as they use when they give medicine at your local pharmacy. I base it on your weight and how severe your health challenge is. So we're no different if you wish to use food for medicinal purposes. And are they absorbing? Of course they're not. You know, that's the biggest common denominator I see in the why factor. People aren't absorbing properly. Well, why aren't they absorbing properly? Because either A, they're still putting fire into the fuel into the fire, they're still eating bad food and they've still got this inflammation, or they've got a lot of scar tissuing going on. They've had so much damage going on over the years in their digestion, it's formed scar tissuing, and so instead of being able to absorb properly through the tissue, it can't. And so the body needs to deal with the scar tissue, and so the body needs to somehow break that down and rebuild new tissue. And so when there's new tissue there, then we can start to reabsorb again. Okay, so we go back to what? We go back to digestion support. We need to support that digestion. And part of a roadmap going forward, you really must use educational tools. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to empower people to make better decisions. And so we have developed over the years, or teams have developed over the years, some great tools to help people understand health challenges. These are just a few. These are my favorite pick, but there are many more. What makes Youngevity unique is a great story on why we're different, products that make us different. Healing is Easy by Peter Glidden. You can go and get that off his website. Download it if you're a member of his subscription of his team. These are great audios on how dosing is important and what products you would use for dosing. The YDY audio catalogs are great ones of understanding products and health challenges on the categories. One of my favorites is Serial Killer, one of Dr. Wallach's talks on how the digestion system works. And it's in easy layman's terms, easy to understand, and listen to that and you'll become an expert on how your digestion works. And if you're an expert on something, you can do it better, okay? Joanne Conway, why is the sick world so sick? Okay, that's a good explanation of, again, our digestion system. The really good tools help us educate. With education, with better education, we can make better decisions. Well, thank you so much for listening to our webinar today from Youngevity Down Under. I know that dealing with Youngevity makes my health 100% better, and I hope it will make your life 100% better too.
Thank
Yes,
you
thanks
so
a lot.
much. Thank you, Kevin. That was great and fantastic. And I just wanted to say, again, I picked up something else new, and that's what's so exciting. Every time, now I've heard this, well, first of all, I helped create it with you. Like I got your material and we created it. And then I saw it now 5 times, I think 6 times now, and I still picked something out of it. And I want to share with everybody, probably the biggest thing that I got out of it the first time when I was, listened to Kevin and going through this section, was the therapeutic dosing. So here's me for 11 months on the products now, and I already myself personally was just struggling to do my dosing for myself, being, almost 80 kilos, so that's almost like 1.5. And so, and then thinking, okay, I got to do that. But then I have my own personal issues, which is a few accidents I've had, so injuries, so I'm hard tissue, bone and joints. And so then I just learned that therapeutic dosing is doubling that. And so just in the last couple of weeks since I've now gone to therapeutic dosing, it's totally like I was already feeling better, but when I travel, I wasn't taking as much. So since I said, okay, I'm going to therapeutic dose, I immediately felt the results faster, quicker, and so that was huge. And so this is the big thing that I want for you guys to be as a takeaway on what we're sharing. Is for us to become educators, we need to educate ourselves. And to become experts, it's about the daily disciplines we are creating in our learning and becoming a lifelong learner. And so when we talk about go out there and learn more with the educational tools that we have in the material that we're sharing like this, is make a commitment to yourself on educating yourself. And the more educated you become, the more enthusiastic and excited you are to educate the people. Now, we just shared something with you that is quite simple, right? Okay. It's simple, but we know it's not easy. And why is it not easy? Because you actually have to make a plan to have better health. You have to make a plan to be able to go out there and share this information. And you need to prepare yourself and most importantly, push yourself. And the thing is it may feel like you're pushing yourself. The only thing you're pushing is your comfort zone. Because if you're genuinely passionate about this and educating and being a crusader of Doc Wallach, the push doesn't become a push anymore. You just end up leading from the front. And when you start leading from the front and overcoming your comfort zone and overcoming your adversity, overcoming your better health and overcoming your wealth, that's how you become empowering in this. Now, I just want to come back to, do we really remember what those 5 secrets to better health are? Because if you think about it, the 5 secrets to better health, and this is how we call it the E's to better health. EEESS, the E's of better health. It's eliminate what you eat, your exercise, your sleep, and your support. So that's how the language on making it simple. And again, what's not easy about it is that you need to push yourself. And so that's again where the support comes in, where we together support each other. Where the support comes in is the added products that we need to get us to that next level. And so that's where we really are excited for this to come into play. So this is the question I have for everybody. Who here wants to be kick-ass at 100? Now, when I talk about being 100 years old, I want you to really visualize what 100 looks like to you. Because when I talk about, is it running a marathon? Is it, being an elite athlete? Well, do you know what a marathon of being a 100 is? It's being able to walk up those stairs with 2 bags of groceries. It's being able to tie your shoes. It's being able to hug and play with your great-great-grandchildren. That's a marathon and being kick-ass at 100. And the only way we can do that is to be committed to the 90 for life. Because I believe everyone here that is committed and is prepared to plan and prepare and do whatever it takes is going to be kick-ass at 100. But guess what? When you're kick-ass at 100, we know financially you need to extend your retirement plan. And so to be kick-ass at 100, you don't want to be broke kick-ass at 100. You want to be wealthy. not only healthy, but that's where the wealthy comes in. And that's where what I love about Youngevity is the fact that they give us the wealth option, not only the health option. And so anybody that comes and is able to hear about this 100% Better with Us, you now get to offer them the opportunity that if you had a choice of not only your health and your wealth, and you want to know more about how you can also become wealthy, we have a very fantastic program called The Plan. So the person who invited you here today, or onto this call, or at this event, we want to talk, and you want to find out more about how you can increase your wealth, then what you want to do is talk about when's the next opportunity to find out about The Plan. And so to all of you guys here that have committed to this, I want to share with you that this is what we took on the road tour, and we know not everybody was able to go on the road tour to see this. You've now had the opportunity to see it with Kevin and myself, and now you're able to share this with your distributors. This is not something you share with your actual customers, because we're talking about how to position it. But what we're going to do is take 2 slides out of this so you can actually educate your customers on the 4 categories. What I have for you, and I'm just going to share here myself, if you just bear with me, I am sharing with you guys. I am going to be emailing this PowerPoint presentation, but you're going to be able to get this evaluation. Now, yes, you can go online and do the self-evaluation, and it'll formulate which pack they get. But what makes doing it manually together so powerful is they become an educator for themselves. They learn about this, and that is the goal, is to help them take ownership of their own health. The other fabulous thing about this is that we obviously have a healthy body pack that extends past the 90 for life for each one of those categories. But what's also really exciting is we pretty much have a CEO pack that supports every one of these categories as well. And so this is where you get to position the opportunity that, yes, the one healthy body pack that is relative to their category, whatever their weight is one pack going to be enough? So if they're like an average sized woman like myself, they're going to need the 1.5 pack to get through the month. But then if they have an issue, they need therapeutic dosing. So all of a sudden they need to double that up, if not triple that up. And so that almost works out to me to be like a CEO pack. So that's where the CEO pack, the language around the CEO pack, to really support them on everything that they need. Now, of course, that's the goal, is the positioning of the pack or the CEO pack. And wherever they're at, if you work out their therapeutic dosing or what their dosing is, what do you think obviously they need? This is what they need. You need to position what they need. Now, in saying that, then it comes down to what can they afford? And again, that's where you need to listen to what they can actually afford, and then you work it out from there. So if this is what you can afford, let's get you started. At least it's better than nothing. And then if I can help you afford it, or if I can help you get it for free, we have some programs that are in place. Would you like to hear about the programs? Yes, they give you permission. And that's where you can talk about the program on the Healthy Body Pack program, or the program on the 5 to Thrive, that if they get a CEO pack and they can get 5 other people on a CEO pack, that they get their money back for free, get their money back in their first 30 days. So this is where you take the time to get better at how you share this and how you showcase this. So the call to action that I have for you guys is 2 things. One is that how you want to take this to the marketplace and how you want to educate and share this. And so are you going to want to share this on a weekly basis in your home or online? And so we really want to support you on that. The other call to action is that we are going to share the digestive system, which is the immune system one, with you. And I thought we were going to be able to do this tomorrow, but Kevin, we have to do it on Thursday. So we will do Thursday at 4:30 as well, just like this. And then now that we've gotten these 2 out, that we've gotten out on the field already, then we will start it on Saturday at 10 a.m. Brisbane time. Then you guys can jump on the Saturday, will be the hard tissue. And then each Saturday after that will be, then it'll be the blood sugar one. And then I think we got the soft tissue. And then on the 3rd week, after that will be the final one on the Healthy Body program. Okay, and on the wellness Rev 90 with all that, which will be fantastic. And Colleen Walters, who has been the coach to our semi-finalists of the Betty Health Challenge, is going to help me deliver that last one, which is really quite exciting. And so the goal is to have these all delivered to you guys with the PowerPoint presentation, and then a Zoom to support it. And after convention, when we come back, we'll get back into the series of part 2 of Better Health with Us on wealth. And so let me just make sure I've shared everything that I wanted to share with you guys on that. And in closing, it is about you creating an epic story. So we want you to just really think about when you want to deliver this, when you open with this, you open with your own personal epic story and sharing that and really going through the different material and finishing off with, which is really powerful, is this 4-category sheet, and as well as the Who Do You Know sheet. We have a new Who Do You Know sheet out there, and on the back of it is a swap where you shop. And when you share that, because when somebody goes through a presentation like this, they're going to be thinking of people. Like immediately when I was thinking of, like people with headaches, I thought of 2 of my girlfriends with headaches. And so I'm obviously writing that down, because whether they're a customer or a distributor, when they walk out of an event where they've just come out of there, you want them walking out thinking of people that they've automatically thought of. And so going back to who they've actually thought of, so you can make a plan and a strategy of inviting that person to the next event. So in finishing, I just wanted to finish this off with some questions.